everyone. I think we might be live. I'm not 100% sure. So I am going to just double check because, oh, here we go. I think we might actually be getting somewhere. Lovely. Let me just give you an overhead view here. Hi guys. Let's have a look. See if you can hear me as well. Oh yes, you can hear me as well, which is awesome. So back on Instagram as well as on Facebook and on YouTube. Sorry for the delay getting started there. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the software and getting that all set up so that it is, that you can that it's all setting up and it's all working. So and I'm also a little bit in the dark here, so I've also tried, every time we do this I try and do something a little bit different so that you are getting a slightly different view. I feel like I've got stuck on Instagram. You're also going to see when I have a little sneaky drink. Hi Angie, how are you? I can't see very well at the moment. I'm trying to look at 10 different screens. Let me see if I can get yay! Oh, Instagram's back up and working. Awesome. So I think what I found last time was that I could see your comments for YouTube and Facebook in front of me, but I have to look at the live on Instagram to be able to see any comments on there. So if I miss your comments on Instagram, I'm really sorry, but hopefully you're going to get to see it. It does seem to be lagging a little bit on Instagram, so I'm not sure if that's the same on the other channels, but if it is, give me a shout and let me know. Okay, so we're on, which is a good start. I am putting the notes for the show that I was going to use some digi-stamps, which I don't think I've actually got any printed out, so that's going to be a little bit annoying, isn't it? Because I might have to print some while we're here. But I wanted to make some haunted house, spooky, cute. Hello Deborah, how are you? Oh, I can see your comment on Instagram, that's awesome. Yeah, I wanted to make a cute Halloween card because I haven't made any yet this year. And I do love Halloween cards. That was supposed, hope you are well. Supposed to be I hope you're well. Yeah, thank you. I understood what you meant. So I'm making a Halloween card. I did put in the notes, the description notes that you should see on all of the channels, the items that I was intending to use, but I can't find my haunted house. So the card that you've got in front of you here is the haunted house, and yeah, I can't seem to find it, so I'm just going to have a little rummage. So I've got this is one of my boxes of Time for Tea gorgeous stamps, and oh, you see, I obviously didn't look hard enough the first time because there it is. I have got the spooky circle tags. Now some of you might have this in your stash. We don't have any of these. I think we've got one maybe in stock. If you can find it on the website, grab it, because we do only have the one left. So I might have to resort to using that. However, the trick or treat digi stamps are really super cool. So what I might have to do is I might have to see if I can, if we can do any kind of printing while I'm also live, because I definitely haven't got any here, which is, like I say, is very annoying when you try to prep and then you don't have everything you need. Deborah says her tapping's all over the place. Sorry, but she loves Halloween. I really love Halloween as well, and I don't tend to send Halloween cards, so I'd be really interested to know if any of you do send Halloween cards. And I'm going to do a thing actually while we're live here, to see again. I'm just testing all these different things to see if they work. Let me have a look, see if we can do this. I don't know if we can, but let's have a look. Let's have a look. I've just gone off there. I don't know what I'm doing actually. Let's not try and push it while we're live because we've already got so many things that we're trying to do. So I am just going to go and I'm going to have a look at trying to print off my digistamps because these are amazing. So let's have a look, see if I can find them. Sorry, this is not very interesting while I'm just looking for things. Let's have a look. Where would they be? My filing system is not the best. Here we go. Now you see, now I've found it. Look, that's awesome. We've also got digipapers as well, so if you've not seen those, oh my god, you need to see them. Let's have a look. We've got the PDF document, which is the best one for printing off, I would suggest. Let's get this one open, and then I need to find myself a bit of nice white cardstock to print it on. Because then it will we'll be able to colour on it. So excuse me while I just stand up here. And again, I hope that on Instagram that you've got a better result than I have, because mine keeps freezing. So I'm going to have to keep coming out and going back in so that I can see what you guys can see. So I'm just looking for some nice printable paper in my stash here. I do have some really nice super smooth cardstock, but I also did have some really nice Nina Solar White, which I'm going to try and find because I think that would be the best actually. I can't seem to find it in here. I'm wondering if I've stashed it somewhere else. Aha, so this is, and I'll just put it on in front of me here. I'm going to load up my printer, and we're going to do this to actual size, because if we print this to actual size rather than the size that it originally presents itself to you, then it will come out the correct size for your images. So it'll be almost like you've stamped them, so like an A6 size card base. So this is quite decent in terms of its weight, so we're going to give it a try, see if it runs through my printer okay. It should do, because I'm sure I've used it before. And let's give that a run through the printer. And I'll come back to you guys so that you can see, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So yeah, this is the Nina Classic Crest card. This obviously we have our own super smooth card stock that we sell here. and but I do think we're pretty much out of stock of that. So if you're looking for some fresh cardstock for your colouring and your ink blending, this is a great one. I'm going to pop that at the front so that I can find it easily next time. And we'll pop this back up on my shelf. I have promised at some point to give you guys a bit of a tour of the craft room, haven't I? Because I have updated it recently. Right, let's grab this off the printer and you can see how that's printed out now, and isn't that gorgeous? So in terms of saving you a bit of time, printing these out is awesome. Now we do in the download you will get the JPEG version as well, which means that you then can resize them and make them bigger if you want to as well. So it's a bit of a rubbish it seems a bit dark. I don't know if that, I've got all of the lights on and I've got extra lights in here as well, but yeah, it's not the best. So I'm just going to switch to, no, we'll leave it at that. I am just gonna quickly just turn around and blow my nose because you don't want to see me blow my nose, but it had to be done. Okay, so where are we up to? So we've got our cute little images now, so thank you for letting me do that. I can't see on Instagram, unfortunately. It feels like Instagram might have gone a little bit slow, and it's just seems to be just paused. So I'm hoping that it is going to work. So we could colour these in and we could cut these out, which is great. And then obviously we've got our haunted house, which is in the card here, and I want to do some bit of ink blending. I think in the background will be really cool for that. And then we have got the sentiments on the spooky tags, which I think is also pretty cool. So so we'll come back to that because we don't have any, we've only got one of those in stock, so I don't want to use something that we haven't really got in stock. So I think my next plan is going to be to stamp out this image, because then we know what we're doing then, don't we? So I'm just going to see if I've got any card as well, any stamping card somewhere. But see, this is the issue when you organise and you tidy up, you can't find anything, can you? So like, what have I done with all of my card stuff? Not to worry, because we've got plenty of cardstock, we've got plenty here, so I have got actually some card bases here, so we're definitely going to need one of those, that's for certain. I've got here next to me all of the bits that I took with me to Hobby Maker this week, because I actually didn't get to do all of the card samples that I'd prepped. So I do want to spend some time doing that and maybe filming that and uploading that if anybody's interested. I'm a bit annoyed that I can't see what's going on, so I'm going to try it on my phone. Should we try it on my phone instead? That might be working a little bit better. Oh yes, I can hear myself jabbering away in the background as well, so that seems like that might be working a little bit better for us. The technology is just like, every time we do this, just get it a little bit better and we just improve it a little bit more, but it's all a bit of a learning curve, because I am not, you know, I'm a crafter. I don't make videos, you know, I'm not a video maker. I'm not technical in that respect, so so yeah, so let's have a look, see if I can find this on Facebook as well, and then I know that we're all good. Got multiple things running at the same time, which is probably not helping. I love some of the cards that they did. Oh, there we go. Look, it's all, we are good. The design team have been making some absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous cards as well, with some beautiful ink blended backgrounds. So that is really what I want to kind of emulate some of that. So, and I think to get all of this on, I think a landscape card is going to be my go-to. So let's get this guy stamped out, shall we? And I think I'm going to have to use my stamping platform, which I've not used for quite a bit of time. So let's get my stamping platform out, which is in its new little home over here as well. And I'm going to go back to my cardstock here, because I have no idea what I've done with. I had loads and loads of cardstock cut out, pre-cut, to stamp my images, and I don't know what I've done with it. So that's no good, is it? So we're also going to need my trimmer. So what is everybody else up to today then? Are we crafting along? Or are we just chilling and watching, listening to me, chatting away to myself? I'd love to know what you're up to, and I'd love it if you would chat along with me. Let me know what you're crafting or what your plans are for the day, just to keep me company really. Anne is at the salon today. So for those of you that are new, we also run a hair and beauty salon in Sheffield. I'm just going to pop this behind me, I think. So that keeps us pretty busy, for sure. So yeah, he's there today, and holding the fort there. And I'm getting to do a bit of crafting. I've also got some. Hello Emma. Hi Emma. And Jess is who it is. Hello, hi Jess, how are you? So good to see you, and the Halloween card looks beautiful. I'm at work, so we'll be lurking, but wanted to say hi. I love that you're lurking when you're supposed to be working. Lurking when you're supposed to be working. That's really funny. But thank you for being here. So this is quite a big image, and this could just be the focal point of your card. We've also got some really nice sentiments on here, and I think I'm going to go with, let's go with the, I might go with the trick or treat actually. Let's do the trick or treat, because the stamp set is the trick or treats, the digi-stamps are the trick or treat stamps. So I'm going to use my stamping platform to help get this nicely inked up. So I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black ink on my main image here. And I've got two of these opened, and I can't remember which one of them is the newer one and which one is a bit of a drier ink. So this is why it will really help using the stamping platform, because if I don't get a great impression first time, then this will help us line it back up again. If you have a little bit of an issue with your pressure, these little things that you can probably get off Amazon or somewhere, they're like a little they're almost like one of those like little things that you use when you're doing the air hockey. That's what they remind me of anyway, but they do provide great even pressure when you're doing your stamping. So you can see there that actually I'm probably not going to do that again, because I think that's come out really quite nice. I've got sorry, it's so hard to read because they're in a really weird blue, your names, so I'm so sorry if I can't see your names. I think I've got Days Create Place. Hello Joe, I'm happily watching along with you while crafting, so be a silent viewer and your Halloween card is beautiful. Thank you so much. And Angie says, I'm making Christmas stuff to sell to raise funds for the charity. We rescued 2 more kittens this morning. Dunknear is about 5 weeks old. Oh Angie, honestly. So Angie, we've known for many years now, and she lives in Greece, and she rescues cats over there and kittens, and looks after them, rehomes them, makes sure that they have the best life possible for the time that she knows them. And it's just such good work that you do, Angie, and I would adopt them all. I do have a little cat related update for you as well. So those of you that perhaps have followed for a while, I know I've not done a live for such a long time, so you know this probably is new news, really. But Maisie's not been very well for quite a while now. She's been having little accidents around the house, and a lot of them have been blood stained, and and she's obviously not been very well. So we've been trying to treat it with antibiotics and different medications. None of that has worked. And so obviously we've gone through all the process of different tests and whatnot, and turns out she's got bladder stones. So she had an x-ray yesterday, which they then said probably your best bet is going to be removing them while she's under anaesthetic. So she then had the operation yesterday to remove this bladder stone, and she's currently in the vets. The reason that the live is a bit earlier today, I was probably going to do it a bit more mid-afternoon, but the vet is going to be calling me mid-afternoon to let me know how she's getting on. So I will be, coming off the live in order to be able to be available for when they call, because I'm hoping that she might be able to come home today. Excuse me, but the call that I got from them this morning was that she was running a bit of a temperature, and she hadn't eaten anything at all so far. She has had a wee, and apparently that's looking clear, that's looking good. She's got a little cone on her neck, bless her, but she's not wanting anybody to go near her. She's obviously a bit sore still, and yeah, feeling a bit sorry for herself. So so I'm a bit worried about her, of course, and just want her to be well. So yeah, I'm hoping, like I say, that she can come home today, and then she's got us to look after her then and take care of her, and hopefully she'll get better quicker as a result. But ever since she went in yesterday, I've had the most horrendous headache. I've still got it now. I didn't sleep very well last night, so it's all a bit, it's not fabulous, is it? When you're worried about your babies, because they are my babies. So Angie says, it's so hard not to keep them all, I bet. Poor Maisie. Emma says, I think I'm going to need to get the stamp, get that stamp for my collection. It will be super fun to colour. And Angie says, fingers crossed. This house is absolutely awesome to colour. Now this obviously with this PDF, it's going to print out the exact size for your A6 cards, like I mentioned. If you want to resize it, use one of the JPEGs that are in the set, and you can also use the JPEG to then, if you're quite good with your Word document software, you can put 4 of them. You should be able to fit 4 of them onto an A4 size piece of paper. That way you're not wasting any of your cardstock. Now, I won't waste this because these bits that I'm cutting off here, I will just keep those, and I can stamp my other, my actual stamps onto this and use this for other projects. So that will definitely not go to waste. But you can see now that we've cut that down just what that looks like. And I think my scene's going to be a little bit like this, really. Now you could stamp this and then mask it out, which is what I've done on this card. So I stamped my image, then I put a mask over the top of it, and then ink blended all around it, which did look really, really cool. But I think I'm going to do it in a different way this time. I'm going to, and I probably am going to do portrait now I think about it, because I'm going to do the image here, and then I'm probably going to have a couple of my trick-or-treaters at the bottom here, because they're adorable. And I'm thinking this little guy here with his little cape on and the little mummy would be really, really cute. I do love this guy. This is probably one of my most favourite images that I've done, because it is so sweet, with him just flying away. And I think I've popped that on the newsletter that I sent out. So yeah. It's so, oh, hello Jane from CNC. So Craft and Connect are with us. So Jane Vaughan from Craft and Connect used to be one of our design team members. And hello to you. I hope you're doing really, really well. So, and yeah, what are you up to? Tell us what you're up to, because I'm sure everyone would love to know. And then I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do in terms of like a frame. Am I going to go straight onto my background? Am I going to have a bit of layering going on? Because that's my next port of call, is to work out how I'm going to ink blend my background. So again, I'm on the hunt for some cardstock here. Honestly, I really don't know what I've done with all of my card. I'm very confused, really. I can't possibly only have this bit left. Maybe I have. You know, I do get through a lot of it. So, just joined are these Digistamps. So yes, so this is the Haunted House physical stamp set, Jane. So that's the Haunted House stamp set. Oh, I've still got my mask, look. So that's the mask that I used last time. So we've just stamped that one out, but then this set here are the Trick or Treat Digistamps. So I've just printed these out while we were on air, and then we're going to colour a couple of these chaps in, and add them to our scene. And in fact, I am going to just remove them from the rest so that we know which ones we're doing. And I may also... do I do a couple of these little jack-o'-lanterns as well, because they're pretty cute. So, and then we can save these for later. And then I need, the reason I was hunting around in here is that I do want one of these pieces here. Now, I have got, oh, I've just seen a scrap here with the zigzag. I wonder if that would be quite cute to do a zigzag. I don't know if it's quite big enough though, is it? No, it's not quite big enough because it won't get all of my, maybe. Just thinking the zigzag would be quite cute, you know, from the point of view of it being a little bit spiky for Halloween would be quite cute, wouldn't it? So this is probably from the zigzag die set, and it's the insert bit, because that cuts out a frame. So so yeah, but I think what I'm going to go with, if I just spin around, and I don't know if you can see me spinning around here, all of my dies and stamps are behind me, and I'm going to look for, I think I'm going to look for the scalloped dies here, because these are quite a nice edge. Or am I? Let me think. I don't just want to do a boring edge, you see. Oh, that's a nice one. Maybe we do go with that one, because my zigzag, like I said, I don't think my zigzag's quite big enough. So this is the zigzag frame and tag set that I was talking about, and that's the bit that goes in the middle. And I don't know, I think that's quite cute. So let me just do a little bit of sizing up here. If that sits on the front of there with our two little images, might just be a little bit too small because we've also got the trick or treat, although that could kind of sit in the middle there. Could work. Could work. Decisions. This is what happens when you don't plan. So Jade says, brilliant, I love digistamps, they're so versatile. And she says they're busy there getting ready for the virtual retreat on the 10th of November. And Natasha Davis is teaching one of our classes, and one of her cards features your Fab Jumbo Sentiment, one of your I can't even speak. Fab Jumbo Sentiment dies. That's brilliant. And hello to Sue. Thank you for joining us. Jane's asking, it looks like we had another great Hobby Maker show. We actually did. We had a fabulous one. Really good show. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to do as well. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to demonstrate everything, so I really want to do that at some point, because it's weird, because it frustrates me a little bit because I don't get to finish things and I'm like, I really wanted to finish that. So yeah, so I'm gonna have a go with this background, because why not? The more we procrastinate, the less we get done. Now it's already 40 minutes in, and all we've done is done a bit of prep, haven't we? So let's get our little stamping section out here, and we've got a lot of colouring to do as well. So if I want to be ready to speak to the vet, I need to be getting cracking on, don't I? So I'm just going to remind myself what colours we're going for. I think it's kind of a bit of a, maybe a worn lipstick colour, maybe. Yeah, a bit of a warm lipstick, maybe. The saltwater taffy is really nice, isn't it? And then a bit of a scattered straw, maybe. Yeah, that makes for a really nice colour. Oh, the dried marigold is really pretty. Oh, maybe the dried marigold as well. So let's have a play with these three colours, because this is going to look so lovely in the background. Grab my my lovely brushes here. So start with some pink. I'm going to pop this onto my brush, and we're just going to add some of this lovely pink colour. So we sold quite a few brushes on Hobby Maker at the weekend, which was fabulous. We have probably, and I don't know if I've updated the website with this, so apologies on that as well. It's honestly, at the moment, we are so busy with everything. I am literally running from one job to the next, and I don't always know what I'm doing. But we only have probably, I'm going to say 10 of the caddies left. So if you love the caddies and you want another for your stash, now is definitely the time to get your hands on them, because yeah, they will be gone very soon, and it will be a long time before we get them back, because the cost of things at the moment, to have things manufactured, to have them shipped in, it's just astronomical. I can't even explain to you. We have to get quite high volumes in as well, because obviously the more you buy, the cheaper they are. So to make it cost effective for you guys, we have to manage that, of course. Yeah, it's probably going to be a long time before we're in a position to be able to buy any more of them in. So yeah, this might be your last chance for quite a while to grab those. So I love this colour combination. You could even go, if you don't want to use the scattered straw, you could go, or you've not got the scattered straw, if you've got squeezed lemonade, that's a lovely colour combination with this as well. And the card that the design team have done, and I'm really sorry, I think it might be Sophie that's done it, but I apologise if I'm wrong in that. She's then stamped Boo in pink all over the back, and I just think that looks amazing. I love that effect. So I'm just going to go back over this line here just to soften it a little bit and bring some of that pink a little bit higher up, and just blend out a little bit of that orange, because I think that's just such a lovely blend. Fabulous. So really nice. And what I'd really like to do on the back of this as well is add a few drops of go on, white paint. Can't speak. So we're not going to be doing any more ink blending, so I'm going to move my brushes off my desk. So there's the brushes and the caddy that we were just talking about. I'll pop those up there. Okay, so I can pop these back as well. And I know some of you will also be, and I know Angie, you are, and know a lot of people who worked at Create and Craft. Really sad news today that Create and Craft are no longer going to be available or around, which obviously affects an awful lot of people and their jobs, which is horrendous. So I know we've not worked with Create and Craft for an awful long time, you know, for various reasons, which we don't need to go into. It was another world, another regime back then, and it is just so sad that, you know, it hasn't continued under Hochanda. It's still not really been able to do you know, what it needed to do. And it's just, yeah, for the people that have been working on the channel but behind the scenes, you know, it's not just the people that you see in front of the camera. There are so many people behind the camera that this will be affecting, and you know, it's quite a niche thing, I suppose, crafting TV. You know, there aren't that many other alternatives, so it's going to be hard for people to pick up afterwards, and for the companies, the suppliers, the customers. Yeah, it's sad times. So yeah, thinking about everybody, you know, at the moment who is waking up to that news or has been dealing with that news for a little while, because I know for some people, I think it's been on the cards, hasn't it, for a little while. So they've probably been coming to terms with it for a little while, but yeah. Yeah, very sad, Angie, very sad. Deborah says over on Instagram that she's just chilling and watching, and she's heading to the Glasgow Craft Fair tomorrow, so we'll be stocking up on crafty goodies. Oh wow, what a great day that's going to be. What a great way to spend your Saturday, at Craft Fair, stocking up on goodies. We've never been to a show in Glasgow, interestingly. Or in fact, we've been down south. We've been as far as Peterborough, but we've not done anywhere more north than ourselves, than Sheffield, sort of Doncaster way. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's a good show for you. So we have here now with all my little splatters on there. I love that. It's also really nice as well, which I will do. I'm not going to do now, but it's one to do later. Is some of the shimmer paints look really gorgeous, splattered onto your backgrounds as well. So that's really nice, and a really nice thing to do for kind of your Christmas cards, but also your Halloween cards as well. A bit of sparkle in the background would look really, really cool. Sue says, upsetting for the small business, one-man band guys who lost a lot of money with CNC collapsing. Absolutely. We were lucky that that didn't happen to us the first time round. It could have done. It was very, very, very close in terms of timing. It could easily have happened to us. But we were lucky that we'd already kind of made the decision to leave the channel before that happened. Which was, you know, pure luck, really. So yeah, it's but I know there are a lot of people that won't be as lucky as us. So right, I'm just thinking about what colour I'm going to do. So I did really interesting colours on this card here because I've gone with the green roof and then the grey building. But I feel like I'm probably going to do more of kind of a red brick, perhaps no, shall I go with it like a stone coloured, yeah, I might go with a stone coloured building, a grey roof, and then the red coloured doors. I think that might be a good backdrop. Keep it a little bit more neutral. So I'm going to go with, I think the E40 shades might be a nice stony colour to do in the background. We're making, like I said in the description, I think I'd said this is going to be more of a cute rather than a scary Halloween card. So we're going cute rather than scary. So all of the main sort of building parts, I'm going to just outline them all in my darker shade of brown here. So I'm going around all of those elements. So this is going to be quick colouring. So if you are, looking to do something quite quickly, but you think, oh, I've got this is a huge image, this is going to take forever. This is going to be an example of where we're going to try and make it as quick as we possibly can, because obviously we want to get onto the creating as well. But I love to colour my images and spend a bit of time on them ahead of putting my card together usually. And the dream always is to be able to prep a little bit more before the lives, and maybe have if you've not used Copic markers before, by the way, did you you may not know that one side has a chisel end and one side has the brush tip end. I always use the brush tip end when I'm colouring in, unless I'm colouring in a really large area. So I'm going over those bits that we've just coloured, but I'm bringing them in a tiny bit, just so that we're going to get a little bit of depth there. But like I said, this is super quick. We're not overthinking it. But I do like I say, I like to colour in my images ahead of time usually, so that then I can just concentrate on almost on the construction part of the card, rather than the detail of the colouring in. So I can spend a nice day just colouring calmly without really thinking about what the end project is, because that's the bit that, sometimes takes up the time, is if you try and do the full project all at once, it can be a bit overwhelming. I think that's what I'm trying to explain, is that if you try and do the full project all in one sitting, it can sometimes overface you a little bit, and you're like, I don't really know where to begin. So just begin with one bit just do some colouring in, or alternatively just do some ink blending. So if ever I'm a little bit stuck and I'm not quite sure, oh, what do I want to do, that's what I will do. I will start with one element, and usually that then leads to something else. So I'm going to go with I think I'm going to go with some nice bright windows, and like I say, I think I'm going to go with a grey, probably a warm grey, for my for the roof. So I'm just going to, I'm just going to outline the entire roof. And for these bottom ones, I'm just going to outline the bottom bit and this sides. So the top I want to keep a little bit brighter, as if that moon is shining on it. This one would be in a bit more darkness, actually, thinking about it. I'm going to have a bit more darkness on this side as well. So just thinking where my moon is, where that light is going to be hitting. But again, we're not overthinking it, we're just going with it, aren't we? So yeah, every time I come to do another live, I learn something new about my software that means that we can do something a little bit more. So every time we do it, we're just getting a little bit better at it. And the fact that I can have myself on camera with you as well is another step in the right direction. Because I know it's quite nice to be able to see who's crafting with you. But yeah, I've got a couple of different options for my setup now, and I've stressed Anne out because I've bought a load of other things that will need attaching to walls and things. So that's created a job for him. He's like, oh God, another job. I've got enough jobs. I don't need any more. But yeah, DIY is not my strong suit. So if anybody's going to put a hole in a wall, it's not going to be me. Or I wouldn't suggest it was me because it won't end well if I do it. So yeah, so I'm hoping that I can make my backdrop a little bit more appealing than what you can see at the moment as well. So the colours that I've used so far are the warm grey. So the warm grey 7, 5 and 3 there. So hoping that you can see that. And that looks really, really cute already. So then I'm thinking about, right, okay, what colours are we going to do in the background? We're going to have a little bit of light, I think. So for my light, I think we'll go with, ooh, lovely. I have bought a new, so I have bought a couple of new Copic markers because my others had been very well used, but now we've got these, so I can use these to add a little bit of colour into my background. So this is the Y15. And then I think I will go to the Y13 just to lighten that up into the top part of all of those windows. And I think this is a really nice vibrant yellow, but warm as well. So that's just added a bit of colour into the background there. Oh, no space for anything. Colour wise, so I'm just now doing a little bit of forward planning really and thinking, right, okay, what colours am I going to use against this backdrop? And I think some nice pink, a nice pink similar to the worn lipstick kind of colour is what's going to work really quite well here. So I'm just going to pull out a couple of pinks. Oh, keep doing that, don't I? Just to see which ones look the closest match really for what I'm trying to achieve. That's a pretty good colour. That was the R43. This is a bit more of a salmony colour. This is the R32 peach actually, and both of those look really, really pretty. So I think I'm going to go with those as my options. So again, we're keeping a kind of a pink and yellowy orange theme going here. So everything will coordinate from that point of view. So just fill in those areas with that light colour, and you will get that little bit of a gradient going on there, which is really sweet. And then I think I'll use that same warm grey for these boards that are going across the windows. So a little bit of the darker where those shadows would be. There we go. And blend that out with the mid-tone colour. So this is the warm grey 5. There we go. And the warm grey 3 will be our final colour. Really love that. And it's been such a while, I think, really, since I've done any colouring that, yeah, I miss it so much. So what's next? I think next on my list on here, I think is going to be doing this cat. And I've got a little bit of this is the N1 shade, which is a really, really pale grey. My temptation is to make it, although normally you would have a black cat, wouldn't you? I think maybe I go with a bit of a paler shade of grey for this cat. So I'm just going to cover him all in, because he's so tiny. Just cover him all in the N1 shade. And then I'm going to find my N3 here, and I'm just going to use a little bit of that just to add an outline and really not offer too much colour there, because he's going to yeah, I don't want him to be too flat, so we're just offering a little bit of colour. And then for the for our ghost, now my ghost would normally be, obviously he's going to be white, but we want to create a little bit of dimension to him, don't we? But I'm not going to do it in the traditional kind of greys. I think I'm going to use a little bit of colour that matches with our theme. So this is the YR000, so really, really pale shade, and it's what's it called, silk, but it's quite peachy in colour, so I think that looks really, really nice. And we can then do a little bit of similar sort of peachy colours for our pumpkins, can't we? So we've got a colour here which is called Atoll. I'm not really sure what colour that is, but that looks like the perfect colour for our for our pumpkins, and then the next shade up from that is this one, which is really super deep, but I think those two are going to blend really, really well. So you've got the YR68, and I'm going to add some darker bits to our pumpkins here first. So a little bit of shade, following those lines that are already drawn in for you, so that you can get a little bit of shadow on there. And then the YR65, we'll just go over the top of that just to create, and I'm just using a little bit of a circular motion to kind of scrub out the harsh lines of the previous colour, so that that all blends in together. It makes for a really nice set of little pumpkins there. This little road at the bottom, I'm going to cut that off because I'm going to fussy cut this out in a second, so don't worry about that for the moment. Am I going to keep my little bits of, I might also remove the little bit of fence so that it sits perfectly in the middle. So the last bit to do really is our moon. Now our moon, I'm going to try and keep as a really bright white moon almost, so I'm not going to add an awful lot of colour to it. This is the Y000, which is pale lemon, and it's almost it's quite, what's the word, it's almost an acidic kind of a yellow, but I do think it adds you know, almost like a mystical glow kind of a colour. Hello to HS Handmakes. Hi, this background is beautiful and love the house. Oh, thank you so much, and I'm so glad you've joined us. Angie says that she needs to dig out a Copic, so she hasn't coloured properly for over a year. Wow. I know. The thing is that sometimes, you know, you're doing a different type of crafting and you don't get to use the Copics as much, but then when you get them back out again, I love them. I'm addicted to them, so I can't imagine really ever crafting completely without them. So yeah, get them back out, Angie. Get them out. Get some of your time for tea cat stamps out. That's what you need. So I'm using now the Y00, and you'll probably notice then that I just did a few little dots over the back of the of that moon, and that's just really to give it the look of having a bit of speckled. If you look at the moon at night, it's not a flat colour. You can almost see some of the craters in it, can't you? That's what I'm imagining. Whether it's coming across, I don't know. But again, to add a bit more of that depth, I'm going to use the warm grey. I am just going to add some dots in different sizes to my moon. Some little ones and some bigger ones. And that, I'm hoping, is going to give it that almost crater type effect. Now, I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so that you can see, because it might be a little bit more difficult to see on camera, and I can't zoom in on this particular camera. I could on my previous one, but I can't on this one. So again, another upgrade that we need to do. So I think that's looking pretty cool as it is. I'm loving the colour combinations, so I'm going to fussy cut this one out, and like I said, I'm not going to cut, you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my specs off, because I can actually see better without them close to. They are varifocals, my glasses, so I should be able to see close to really well with them, but I don't. Sometimes I'd just rather just take them off and just not bother because they can be quite annoying. I find them quite uncomfortable to wear, glasses, so that's why you don't probably see me with them very often. I find they hurt me behind my ears quite a bit. So I tend to then try and loosen them, which then makes them more uncomfortable. They slip down my nose more. So, and I'm still, I don't know if you can tell, I'm still a bit suffering with this cold. It's just not sounding great, am I? Oh, a cat has woken up. So, Maisie's brother doesn't, so Maisie normally joins us for crafty time, didn't she? She normally gets involved with crafting. When we're crafting live, she has to come and sit on whatever we're doing to let everyone know that she's arrived and that she's here. Oh, I've not done the little stalks for my pumpkins. I'll do that next. But of course she's not here. So maybe Arnie's going to come and take over her spot. Make a guest appearance in Maisie's absence. So I'll just pop. So I'm using my bigger scissors. You can use smaller scissors if you feel more comfortable, but I do sometimes find that the larger scissors are better for this type of shape. I do sometimes use the smaller scissors for smaller images, but you can, if you've got larger areas to cover in terms of straight lines like this, your larger scissors are much better. And the trick, they say, is to look at where you're going to cut, not where you are cutting. So look at where the scissors will finish, not where you are. Does that make sense? And move your paper, not your scissors. So my scissors, if you notice, didn't really move at all. It was all just the paper that was moving. So we can see a little bit of where this previous stamp was, but don't worry about that because we're going to cover that up. And I am just going to use one of my little my E33 just to do those stalks on my pumpkins, because I forgot about those, and I forgot that one as well. So we have cut off one of our little bats there as well. So let me have a look. So what you could do, if you wanted to, and I know a lot of people don't like to do this, is you could actually cut that bat away from the stamp set so that you can then stamp him wherever you want. And I might actually do that because that would be quite cool. So we've now got our little background coming together, which I think is starting to look really lovely. And then we're going to have our little cats here as well. We might not use the jack-o'-lanterns, although I think one of them sat in front of the cats might work. So what colour shall we do our cats? I feel like I need to do one that is a little bit like Maisie. Let me put my glasses back on now. Just checking all of the comments. This is looking fab, says Jane. Angie says that she's definitely going to do that. She's going to get her Copics out. And it looks like Annalisa's here as well. Excuse me while I blow my nose again. Right, let's colour in some cats. So I'll just pop those there, and then let's get these cats coloured in. So I'm trying to think what colour to do my little cats. I think if we do this guy as a black cat, and then this guy, we could either have, yeah, more of a gingery cat maybe. Yes, let's do that. So this guy we're going to do as, should we do the toner greys for this? Let's have a look. We've got some toner greys, because because I still want it to be quite a nice warm shade that doesn't take away too much from our background, but I also don't want it to be the same colour as our house, because that would be weird. I like to try and keep everybody separate, if you like. Now that could have been a white bit there that I've just coloured in grey. Doesn't matter. Nobody's going to know, are they? So I'm just adding little bits of grey where I am imagining that there is no bandages. That's the word I'm looking for, no bandages. And then we've got some toner grey 3, so we'll just move that colour out a little bit further. I'm going to leave a little space to add some pink to those ears. And I'm committing this bit to being grey now, even if it might possibly have been supposed to be white. But like I say, it's up to you. It doesn't matter, does it? Nobody's going to know. And then finally a bit of the toner grey 1 will fill in those gaps. So again, this is just really simple colouring, nothing too complicated. We're not, we're not spending hours on it, but we are going to give it enough attention that it looks like we've spent a bit of time on it, if that makes sense. The R20 is a good colour for making little blush cheeks. So even though he's a mummy, he is going to have little blush cheeks, and he is also going to have, oh hello, I've had somebody wave at me. I don't know how to wave back. It did say that I could wave back, but then I missed it. So sorry. Sorry, Annalisa. I didn't wave back at you. And then the nose is going to be in the darker grey. So she's probably, I'm saying she's a she, she's probably a bit more like Mabel, our cat Mabel, really, a bit more of a grey cat. Tracy Howard says, perfect. Oh, thank you. So same as we did with the ghost, instead of using greys to add dimension to my bandages, I'm going to use that same silk, the YR000, to add some colour there, and that'll just give it a bit of dimension, but it'll also keep with the colour scheme. All of the shades all complement each other and all work together. So we're just going to add a little bit of that around those where they overlap. That's where you're going to get the depth, and along the edges as well. So that's just going to give that a little bit more of an edge. And then the colour for the little candy pot or bag or stash, I guess we could go pink, couldn't we? Could go very tone on tone rather than adding any more splashes of colour, or we could go with a nice bright yellowy, a nice bright yellow or an orange. Let's go with an orange, because I think that's going to stand out really well, isn't it? So let's outline all of that in the orange. We'll make that a deeper colour on the inside. And then we'll add the YR65. So this is the same colours we used on our pumpkins. So again, we're utilising all these colours, this shade and the shade that the YR68 and then the YR65. There's quite a big gap between those, so we're just going to work those a bit more to create that blend. But I think that looks lovely. And then I'm going to go in with, this is the YR18, This is a much deeper orange, but I'm just going to go over that bit on the inside because that just makes it look a little bit more like, you know, a bit more 3D, if that makes sense. So yeah, I wish I knew how I could wave back at you. I don't know how to do that on here. I'm probably being really quite non-tech savvy there, aren't I? So, but we're getting there. So for our other little cat here, I'm going to do him as a little ginger cat because I think that will go really well with the theme. She says, where's my little, here it is. So this is my little cheat sheet for a ginger cat. So we're going to follow this. So we've got a bit of YR21, YR20. I'm a mess now. I'm surrounded by all kinds of things, but this is the best. I love this. So YR20. Where are you, YR20? There you are. Let's try a bit of YR20. So we start with this one first. So Annalisa's saying she had no idea that she could wave on Instagram. She just saw it and gave it a try. Well, thank you for doing that. But I'm sorry I couldn't wave back at you. I just didn't know how to do it. But, you know, I'm very pleased to have had somebody wave at me. So I'm starting with the YR20, and I am going to do similar to the cat that we've got here in the picture. I'm going to bring it a bit closer so that you see it on Instagram as well, because this is another areas that are just white. So we're going to give him a lovely big white belly, and that means we don't have to colour quite as much. So the YR02 is our orangey colour. So I'm going to go over what we've just done and bring that over the top in strokes. So we're just using a stroke motion to bring that more orangey colour, almost like tiger stripes, into the middle. So if you notice with cats, they do tend to have kind of a stripe from the middle of their backs that comes down. So that's what we're trying to copy, if you like. So what am I doing next? So YR2, YR04. So each time we're getting a little bit more depth of colour, a little bit more orangey, and all of these colours on top of each other just blend to make that nice kind of ginger tom colour without him being too orange, and he'll still blend in then with the rest of our cute. And then the final colour is the YR27. And this is the one that's really going to give it that warmth that a ginger cat would have. So you're going to use it to create those kind of tiger stripes a little bit more. There we go. And add a bit more to that. So anywhere where you feel like it's just a bit too much of the orange, these are just going to tone that down massively. And then when we've got it to that point, I'm going to go back over with the YR02, the YR20, and use that to blend out those edges to more of a cream colour. So again, it's just going to soften all of those edges so that it looks a little bit more like a ginger tom, and we can use that as well to just create shadow where the white fur would be. because it's really pale. When it dries back, it will dry back to almost nothing. So cute. And then we'll go back to our Y20. We'll give him a little pink nose, little pink ears, and then little pink cheeks as well. Isn't he adorable? He's so cute. I love him. So that's my little guy there. So what colour shall we do the accessories? So we've got orange on this side. We could go with yellow. Yellow would work really well. I'm really tempted to go with the green, but I feel like, is it going to be really weird? We've got one shot of green on a lovely kind of monotone. So I think we'll stick with the more monotone theme, and stick with sort of shades of yellow and pink. I absolutely adore the pink that we've got, but I don't want it to blend in too much with our background, so we might have to go with a little bit of perhaps a darker pink. Let's see, that was the YR43. So if we go with the darker pink, it does end up being a little bit more of a red shade. Let's have a look. This is the 46, which is considered to be strong red, which might be a little bit too strong. And then the carmine is a bit more, yeah, it's a bit more of a raspberry kind of shade, but I do think that would look rather nice. So this is 37. Let's try this. I think this is going to look pretty cool. Let's do his, yeah, let's go with red for there, for his cape. It's almost like a burgundy, Count Dracula kind of a shade. So I don't know if this pink is going to blend with that too well. So let's try the coral colour. That might be better. Cute. And this was printed out onto the Nina Solar White cardstock on a normal inkjet printer. So it wasn't a fancy printer, it's just you know, standard printer, and you can see that the ink is not moving when I go over it with my markers, which is a real plus. So if you're worried about that, totally understand that might be the case. It's sometimes a good idea, once you've printed off the images, leave it for a few minutes to just fully dry, for the ink to fully dry and soak into the cardstock, because that will make a big difference. So, and it looks like Emma's just asked, I'm not sure if you've mentioned it already, but what paper do you use with your markers? So this is the Crafter's Companion Nina Solar, what have I done with it? Crafter's Companion Nina Classic Crest card. That's what we've used in Solar White. Beautiful cardstock, really lovely to colour with, so highly recommend that if you haven't used it already. So I'm going to go with the Y15 for this this treat bag, but I'm going to go with a bit of a darker colour, I think, with it. So let's try Y19. That's a bit darker, isn't it? A bit more of an orange shade. Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? So just add a little bit of dark colour around the side that's closest to the body there, and then for the bit that's inside the treat bag, I'm going with the YR23. So that's a bit more of a mustard shade, and that will just give it that little bit of depth. Love that. Okay, so I've got pens everywhere that now need sorting out, don't they? Goodness me, what am I going to do with them? I do have them all in order, you see, so this is the bit now that my OCD is going to mean that I don't really have OCD, but when it comes to putting all of my pens back, I actually do. So I want them all to be in order, I want them all to be in the right place, otherwise I just can't be coping with it. So yeah, that's this is the bit where I'm like, now where does that one actually go? We'll figure it out, won't we? Might have to come back to that later. Right, lovely. Okay, so pop those to one side because you don't want to watch me putting all of my pens away. That is not fun. Annalisa says, I suppose a wave is better than a poke like you used to do on Facebook. Yeah, that's true. Why was that a thing? It was all a bit weird, wasn't it, when you had that facility where you would be poking people. It's a bit rude, really, isn't it, to be poking someone? You wouldn't poke someone in real life, would you? And expect not to be probably punched back. But yeah, you could wave at someone, that would be nice. So I'm fussy cutting these guys again, concentrating, using my varifocal lenses in the way that they were intended. So have to look down apparently, because that part of the lens is the bit that helps me see close to. So for the rest of today then, what do I have planned for the rest of today? So today is a time for tea day for me, which I'm going to try and make sure that I'm getting more of these days scheduled into our week, because we have so much to do. We spent a lot of time obviously processing orders at the start of the week. We're now caught up, so we've just got orders as they come in now, rather than the backlog of the initial rush that we get when we do a hobby maker show. Yeah, today's plan is I have we have an exciting announcement coming up really soon. Our design team are absolutely dying to introduce themselves to you and get showing you some of their wonderful creations. So I don't think everybody's had their goodies yet, so I've sent a load of goodies to the team, and I don't think everybody's had them yet. So so that is one thing that we're waiting for, so that they can officially start. But they're also waiting for me to be able to, put a little bit of an announcement out there and get these guys up on the social media for you to see who these lovely people are. I'm so excited for them to start sharing with you, because they're all fabulous crafters. We had so many people apply again, which is so lovely that people want to be part of the Time for Tea family. We are a lovely group. The team that are already in place are so lovely and so supportive. And it's always great to have new people joining us. I'm going to cut out the trick or treat as well, and I'm going to colour that bit in also. So I can't wait to share that with you. I just haven't had the time with the Hobby Maker show, and then being poorly before that as well. It has been a bit of a challenging few weeks. I can't lie to you. But these things happen, and we're still here. We're still trucking along. So I just need to pull my finger out a little bit, don't I? And get it done really. So that's on my plan for today, is to get that bit of work done, get that ready and scheduled to go out. I've also got a little bit of content that we filmed when we were packing orders for Hobby Maker to share with you. So just a little bit of pack with us, kind of showing you the process that we go through to to process the orders, how we kind of work, gives you a bit of behind the scenes in the at HQ with us. And I just thought that might be a nice little bit of behind the scenes that we don't normally get to do. So we did a little bit of a video the other day while we were there, and we were thinking, oh, shall we do it live? Shall we do a live, just ad hoc, just pop on and say hello to everyone? But then we just scared ourselves that we weren't really going to know what to say, so we changed our minds. But that was a bit daft of us, really, wasn't it? But because we do these lives all the time, so why that would be particularly scary, I don't know. But so we've got our little trick-or-treaters here, and we've got our trick-or-treat sentiment. Now I don't know whether we pop that at the top, we pop that at the bottom. It's there's a lot going on here, isn't there? Let's be honest. But I do want to add a little bit of colour to this bit here, and my thoughts are that that's probably going to be better in maybe a yellow. So let's try it. So I'm going to do the bottom in a darker shade of yellow, and then we'll go in with the Y15 on the top. So it's just giving a little bit more of an ombre effect to those letters, just to make them a bit more interesting. So while we construct the rest of it, the other thing that we like to do, again, those of you who've been watching for a while, you will be familiar with the fact that we like to use our white jelly roll pen just to add highlights to our images. So I'm going to add a few like little dots and dashes along the images here, just to add a little bit of interest, and it just, I don't know, it kind of finishes it off for me, and just makes it a little bit more interesting, not as flat, and a little bit more cartoon like. I mean, it's obviously not a realistic image by any stretch, but I just think it just adds a little bit of something, and it's one of my favourite things to actually do, is to add the highlights. I get so much satisfaction from seeing it when it's done. So, and we'll just add a little bit to our little cat as well there. So that's the image there, and I'll do you a close-up shortly. But again, with the little mummy image, just adding a few little highlights, particularly on this the little treat bag. You can also use the white pen to cover up any kind of mistakes where you might have your colour might have bled over the lines. So I've done that with the little bag there, and then I'm going to add a highlight to that bit there. A highlight on the mask is going to look so cute, so we'll do that on both sides, and onto the fur, and then a little bit on the cape at the back, and then that's him finished. And then we can also do the same for our lettering, because again that does just make it stand out a little bit, and it also means, like I say, you can clean up any messes. So this is the Jelly Roll pen in the 08. Jane says that Time for Tea is a great design team to be part of, and I loved it so much. Oh, we loved having you as well. Such a shame that you've moved on to bigger and better things, but we do miss you. So yeah, it is a lovely team to be part of, for sure. So I'm going to take the larger Jelly Roll pen now, the 010, because I want to remove any evidence on our little house here that used to have anything attached to the side. So I can just colour over those lines, and the ones that were for the road at the bottom, we're just going to fill those in, and the same at this end as well. So if you need to, you can let that dry and do another layer. You don't want it to be too thick, but now it's pretty much, you're not really going to notice, you're not going to notice that at all. So that's the finished image with all of our little highlights. And then we have our little cute little cat dressed as a mummy, and then our little caped cat. So let's try popping this together now. We've had a good long show, for which we haven't done for a good while, so I'm really pleased that you've been able to stick with me and watch along. So this is the background, and I was toying with, do we create a darker background there, but I quite like it with the white background, and then these little guys at the front there. That's really sweet. And then the trick or treat could actually sit in the back there, couldn't it? That looks quite cute. I do like that. I feel like I need another layer though underneath. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to grab a scrap of our white cardstock here. Scrap of white cardstock, and I'm going to grab my nesting dies. So these are my A6 layering dies, and I'm going to grab this, and then I need to figure out which size I want for this to sit onto. So that one could work because that fits, everything fits on there, and it's going to create a little bit of a layer on the outside. Or the third one in gives us this border, and then a little bit of a background. I think I'm going to go with the bigger one. Is my thoughts. So we're going to use this one onto here. I'm going to pop a bit of washi tape. Now this is where I'm going to make a little bit of noise, because I'm going to use my die cutting machine, which is off camera, I think, just about. Yeah, you can't quite see it here. So I'm going to move all of that up out of the way. Oh, she's not plugged in either. So that creates a bit more of a challenge, because we've not got her plugged in, but not to worry. I took her with me actually I'm calling her a hare. I don't know why she's a hare. But I did take it to Crafting Live, Hobby Maker, where we were crafting live. Just in case. Never used it. Typical. But at least it was there in case of an emergency. And I've got my plates here. Here are my plates. So we're just going to pop that onto there. And then we'll pop this through the machine. So again, I may have to change the layout of my craft room just so that you can see everything that we're doing here. But that's nice and easy to be done. Oh, the postman's just been. I can hear him. So then my thoughts were, and what do you feel about this, is that we have a white layer just here, and then we have a bit of colour in the background, and I might just, you see how the zigzag is, it doesn't layer up exactly with my A6, so it might be a case of we frame this a bit more exactly by just trimming a little bit off the bottom. So let's pop that in there, and using my trimmer, hoping you can see there, I'll just trim that down a little bit. And then my thoughts are that we have a layer of colour in the background. What layer of colour we have, I'm not sure, so I'm going to grab a little bit of coloured cardstock from down here. This is just an example of colour. This might not be the colour that we use, but it is quite bright. It's maybe a bit too on point. Maybe we go with a bit of the purple, was what I was thinking would look really nice. So let's try a bit of purple. We've got some lovely purple colour cardstock here. So this would be our like one pop of a different colour, but I just think that makes it really stand out. What do you guys think? Pretty, isn't it? Oof! I've just all of a sudden had loads and loads of comments pop up there. So Jane says, "Hi, not bigger and better, just busier. I'll always be a Time for Tea fan." Oh, I'm so pleased. That's so lovely. So I think the purple looks really nice as a backdrop, doesn't it? So I'm going to go with that. But I'm going to ink blend it rather than use my cardstock, because that's using up more cardstock. We've got a card base here. So to create the card base, the colour that I want, the easiest thing to do is to just ink blend it ourselves. So what did we do with, there it is, my Stampin' silicone mat. Let's put this down here, and I'm going to use some Wilted Violet, I think is the colour. So I'll just pop that there, and then I'm going to grab from behind me my purple brush, and then I'm going to go all the way around the edges here of my card base. Just to create that colour of cardstock that I really want. So I'm turn my card around. Don't strain yourself to get to different angles when you're doing things like this. Always move your cardstock to suit you, not trying to, you know, be a contortionist and do yourself an injury. Trying to get round this side the way, you know, just move your card to where you need it to be. Make your life easier by moving things to where you need them to be. if your setup in your craft room is not, you know, helping you in terms of your posture and things, that again is something that I would be really, really mindful of, because I know after many years of kind of stooping and crafting that it can become quite, take its toll. Claire says she's only just seen the email. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Claire, but don't worry, you can watch the replay afterwards. It's been a long one today as well, so that's why you've caught us, because we've really had a good go at it today. I've really enjoyed you know, just going for it, and I know for some people they prefer the quicker demonstrations and things, but I really enjoy just sitting down and just winging it really, and playing. You know, it's really nice to have things planned, but I much prefer crafting the way that you guys craft at home, where you sit down and you think, right, what are we going to do today? You're not planning and prepping things to show to TV, you're just enjoying crafting. So Angie says she's glad she managed to catch me. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you did. It's really nice to chat to people and know that people are out there watching. It's so hard at the moment to get you know, people to see what you're doing. So if you know any crafters, if you've got any crafty friends, please do share, because it's so helpful. We were talking earlier about, you know, the awful thing that's happening over at Create and Craft. It is really hard at the moment for all of us really, to get on. So all the help that we can get, if you can share us with your crafty friends, it's really much appreciated. So I was just contemplating then, which bit do I pop up? So I'm going to add this piece to my white layer, but flat. So I'm going to do this with my just with my Cosmic Shimmer glue. So we'll just add that to the background like so. And then I'm going to pop this bit up. So let's grab some of my lovely wide tape. There we go. We'll add 3 lengths of this, so that we've got it nicely supported. There we go. And that makes it a really lovely rigid backdrop as well. Yes, Jessie's with us as well. Jane says it's really hard. We're struggling to spread the word about Craft Connect as well. Tough times in the craft industry right now. And Claire says, so love blending. Oh, I love it too, Claire. It is my favourite thing. As you know, you've known me long enough. But it is really hard at the moment, Jane. And anybody who's watching, you know, please head over to Jane's channel and social media. If you want to link it, Jane, please feel free, because like you say, we know how tough it is out there at the moment. I'm not liking my trick or treat sentiment, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to leave that to one side because I'm not feeling it. I want something different. So what shall we have? I think that the trick or treat from our spooky circles might be more the thing. So let's have a little look here. This is a really cute set. I'm so sorry that we might not even have got the one left that we did have left. So I think stamping that on there is going to be the right thing to do. And then these guys will sit there. Oh yeah, that's going to work much better. So we've adapted, we've pivoted. So this is a bit tricky. So just go steady with this if you're doing this at home. No, but seriously, I would normally, if I'd have been thinking straight, I would have done this before I'd popped it up because it creates an uneven surface. So this is going to be quite tricky to do, but we're just going to be brave and do it. And I'm just going to rock ever so slightly that sentiment in the hope that we've got it all. Ta-da! Oh, yay. So we did it. That could have been a bit dicey, but we did it. So let's give that a good clean and pop that away. So now we can now pop these up. Pop my sentiment back before I lose it. And the this stamp set does have a few little extra bits that you can use, like a woo and an eek and a meow and a boo that you can use in the background, which I think I might be tempted to do because I think they will look really cute. You could also put them on the inside of your card as well. So there's my tape. So let's get this popped up. Here we go. The sentiment looks great. Good decision, says Jane. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate the support there because I was just not sure. It was looking a bit too busy, wasn't it? Tracy said you look so organised. I look organised. Do you think? I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. Sometimes I feel quite organised, but yeah, it's all not an illusion, I think. So that little, I want to try and make it as central as possible without getting my head completely in shot. I mean, that looks adorable just as it is, doesn't it? I mean, that's so cute. But then we're going to have our little characters here. Now, because we've already popped up the house, these either need to be popped up again or they need to be flat against the house, so we'd only add a bit of the tape at the bottom. I'm inclined to pop them up extra because why the devil not? So what that will mean is that we add tape to the whole thing. So let's just pop a bit of tape down the middle there and a bit of tape down the middle there. So you see it's going to sit forward if we don't add a bit of extra tape along the bottom, because obviously the tape is the same size, same depth. If we double it up, then that will give it the extra lift that we need. So I'm just going to cut a strip off the bottom there, and then I'm going to cut this in half, and then we're just going to add a bit to the bottom, which way around, of this guy, and a bit to the bottom, turn that around so it lines up a bit better, to this guy, and then you'll see that it just stands proud of our little house. And I think that just looks a little bit neater than if we were to have just either laid it flat or not added the double amount of tape. So when I've added these down, I'll show you what that looks like. But the extra dimension just looks amazing. There we go. So if I bring that up to the camera, and then if I turn it to the side, can you see that we've got the double layer there, which is just supporting it against the house, and the same on that side. So that's giving us that extra bit of support, it's giving us that extra bit of dimension, and they sit perfectly then around our sentiment. So the final bits to get this looking super spooky, like I say, we could use some of these little sentiments that are on here. Should we do an eek? Let's do a little eek. So I've got the eek on here. So I was going to do another bat on the back there, which we could do, but I think I'm going to just go with the little sentiment eek because that's really cute. And again, you've got the boo as well, which is cute. So, oh goodness, I can't, there we go. I couldn't work out which was the right way up then. Eek. Just give that a little bit of a rock about, make sure we've got it all on there. Eek. Cute. I'll pop that up there for now. And then the final little bits, I have my black glaze pen. My cup of tea's getting in the way. My black glaze pen, and I'm going to use this to add a bit of, I might need to use a little scrap of cardstock here. Just use this little scrap here just to clear the nib, because sometimes these can dry out the nibs a little bit. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this gloss black over the top of those bats, and that should give them a little bit of a shimmer so that they stand out a little bit more. Like I say, I've not used this for a while, so it can sometimes take a little bit of encouragement to get going again. So I'm just using a scrap, and sometimes, you know, if it's a bit cold, it can be a bit tricky to get going, but I think we might be getting there. Give it a little bit of a rub. There we go. Just to get that ink flowing a little bit, and then it's just a matter of just gently pressing the nib to get that working again. So I think we've got enough there to be able to encourage it to spread a bit of ink. Might have to go over that afterwards. It's not really flowing like I would normally use it, so it's obviously not being used for quite some time. That's the issue. This is what happens if you don't use your jelly roll pens for a while. They do get a bit sad. They don't like it. So a bit of ink on the eyes there. Ink on the eyes for the cat as well. And then we could do the same on our trick-or-treaters. Give their eyes a little bit of sparkle with the glaze pen. And it does, especially with the digital stamps, this is a really nice touch, because the digital stamps, when you colour over the ink that you've printed out, it can dull a little bit, so this will just bring that back out again. And then finally, and I need to work on that a little bit and get that warmed up, because I might go back over that again before we take any pictures, but it is what it is for now. And then we've got some of our stickle sparkles. We've got some stardust. We've got some, the crystal might be a good one to do. Let's have a look at the crystal, because we can then add a little bit of this sparkle to our moon, which again I think is just going to be a really nice little finish for the moon there. Very sweet. And then I think maybe in the windows, a little bit of sparkle in those windows, a little bit of a spooky sparkle, and then I'm going to add some around these little gift bags as well, because why not? And then a little bit along the top of these, the roofs as well. Just gives a little bit of a spooky glow to the to the image. Claire says it's so cute. Thank you. I think this is really adorable. So, give you a closer look at some of that sparkle. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I really love how that's turned out, and I've so enjoyed making it. So thank you for spending today with me. Angie says she loves it. Thank you. I've been. It feels like I've been away for such a long time, and sometimes you lose your kind of, I don't know, your routine with it, and but I think we're getting back into the swing of things now, and I'm looking forward to doing some more crafting. I imagine it's probably going to be a lot of, dare I say, Christmas crafting coming up. I have got a couple of a few new products to bring to you, some new Christmas products, and we will be back on Hobby Maker on the 10th with some new stuff as well, the 10th of November. So I think it is kind of gearing up for Christmas time, isn't it? And probably Black Friday and all of that. So there's going to be loads of things happening. Look out for the announcement about the new design team, and please welcome them to the team when you see that go up. They'll be giving you loads and loads of inspiration over the coming weeks. And I think I'm going to go now, and hopefully I'm going to hear from the vet about Maisie, and I will keep you guys updated on that. And hopefully the next time we're live next week, she'll be here and gracing us with her fluffy presence. Claire says, how's my mum? My mum is actually doing really well. Thank you so much for asking. She's we're hoping to see her on Monday, because we haven't seen her for a couple of weeks now because of Hobby Maker. So I'm hoping to see her on Monday and give her a big cuddle. Angie says, give Maisie kisses from us. Like, I absolutely will. I can't wait to give her a big cuddle. I can't wait to see her. So yeah, thank you for asking about my mum. I know she'll be really pleased to hear from you. She's doing much better, getting used to things. It's still a bit it's a new way of life, it's a huge lifestyle change, dealing with the stoma bag and so on. So, and I know she's really struggling with the thought of it, but she's literally put a big girl pants on and is powering through. So every day is getting easier and easier for her, and she's adapting really well. So thank you for all of your messages of support. Jane says, lots of love to Aunt Maisie, your mum, and everyone else. Thank you, guys. It is such a lovely crafty community, and I love sharing all of our crafty creations, and a little peek into our lives as well. It's really nice to spend time with you all. So I'm going to leave you be now to get on with the rest of your Friday. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you all again next week. Thank you, guys. See you soon. Bye.